prepared for that social emotional side of new students in your classroom is extremely important. It is very real that teachers and other school professionals, community members can feel secondary trauma when hearing the stories of our students, when hearing about what happens to families. There's a lot of students coming into our schools right now with a lot of stories. And so it will be beneficial to all of our school personnel and our community partners to take some time to learn about what that trauma looks like when it comes into a classroom, things that you can do, ways that you can feel empowered to be a positive influence without the risk of taking on that trauma yourself. So join me as I have a conversation with our most recent course creator, Laura Gonzalez, who has experience working at the immigration refugee resettlement centers and places like that along the border and in other organizations that deal with the mental health concerns and practices for our newcomer students. So we are here with Laura Gonzalez, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. But she is the creator of our new course, Creating a School Program to Support the Mental Health and Success of Newcomer Students. So, Laura, would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
Yes, I'd be glad to. I'm currently the Director of Research and Development for One Journey Together, which is a small business that is with a purpose to support educators and give them the tools that they need to work effectively with immigrant and refugee youth. In my past, I also have degrees in counseling and have worked as a faculty member. So I'm very much in the counseling and educational space. I think working with newcomers is a little bit different because on top of just a regular, daily stressors like I'm confused about my math homework or I need a little bit more to eat this morning. On top of those stressors, there's also things like the language learning piece, which is common to English language learners, but also just some resettlement stressors if you're brand new to a community and are really just trying to figure out how to meet your basic needs. There can also be some isolation when you're brand new and really don't know yet how to connect with others around you. So I think those are some of the main concerns that I think people have. And really in our post-COVID world, I think we see students' stress levels up across the board. And so that means that those who are responding to students are often spread thin. So sometimes it's a case of needing to attend to a lot of different things and not having as much time as you might want with any one particular student, which I think is a really shared space for many of the people who we're hoping might be interested in this course, such as school counselors, school social workers, school psychologists, people who are in that student services support team often.
So you mentioned the course. Could you describe for me what are the key benefits that a participant would receive from taking this course?
Absolutely. So I'm guessing that if people are interested in the course, they may either have immigrant and refugee backgrounds themselves or kind of have a reason to be connected to that population, or be in a school where that population either exists or is maybe starting to arrive. And so I tried to add something for all populations in the course. We do spend a little bit of time just on raising our awareness about immigrant and refugee youth and sort of where from different parts of the world they might come from and what some of the experiences might be before they arrive into your school communities. And so for some people that might be a little bit of review, or for some people that might be brand new information. But then pretty quickly we move into thinking about the core stressors that immigrants and refugees might experience, and in particular trauma, and really trying to refine our understanding of how can we best support young people who may have had both pre-migration, during migration, and even post-migration traumas in their lives to help them be, successful in our schools, including be able to function well as students in the classroom, be able to make friendships with their peers. So I think people will benefit with some of that generalized knowledge. But then it was really important to me also to have some practical pieces to the course. So people will be doing a community asset map to help them determine what are some other entities in my community that I could reach out for help to. And we also are creating a service plan for your school or a professional development plan if you're not currently working in a school, but feel like you would like to be able to share this information with other people in your space. So there's a lot of practical pieces in there as well.
What benefits will the students get from their teachers, counselors, social workers, school leaders, from their school leaders taking this course?
Yeah, so one of the foundational pieces that I include in the course is SAMHSA has a 6 strategies for trauma-informed work. And so I think after completing the course, people will have a much clearer idea of, for example, how to build trust with a population that has maybe been through, like war or, displacement, how to help them sort of settle back in and come to trust that we are there, hoping to help them and work on their behalf, how to help them connect with their peers in a way that they can feel part of a community and a sense of belonging and also empowered as learners. So I think the more aware that the adults in the school are of some of those very particular needs, then we can really convey to students that foundational sense of safety and trust that really has to come first. But if they don't feel safety and trust, then nothing else that we try to do is going to hit the mark.
Are there any additional resources or tools that are part of this course that participants could get excited about?
Yeah, so one of the tools that we talk about a lot comes from the school counseling field from ASCA, and it's a model for service which incorporates defining your role and the population you're trying to serve, and then managing and delivering those services, and then assessing how well you did. So I have a colleague, Dr. Robert Martinez, who is a school counselor educator, and he and I kind of share some conversations sort of like this one, where he helps to really unpack that ASCA national model and help us think about using that as a foundational set of tools that then inform everything else that you're trying to do in the school. So that ASCA model is very, it's specific to school counseling, but it's also very flexible. I mean, things like managing, delivering, and assessing, those are tasks that pretty much anyone working in a school building needs to do.